They say the dead are gone forever, but theoretical physics suggests a terrifying loophole. A white hole could, in theory, bring the dead back to life, but there is a condition, a cruel, cosmic joke. To witness this resurrection, you would have to wait until the end of the universe itself. Standing guard at the mouth of this celestial monster for 10 billion years. Because a white hole is not just a spatial anomaly, it is a black hole running in reverse. If the black hole is the ultimate consumer, swallowing light and history, the white hole is the ultimate rejecter. Everything that was ever lost, extinct civilizations, ancient ecosystems, perhaps even the dinosaurs, is theoretically lined up inside, waiting to be violently expelled. In 2006, NASA satellites witnessed something that shouldn't exist. A gamma-ray burst lasting 102 seconds, an eternity in high-energy physics. No supernova, no black hole remnant, just a tear in the fabric of space that unleashed the energy of a billion suns, and then vanished. Some believe this was our first glimpse of a white hole, but here is where the math turns into a horror story. Inside this object, consciousness doesn't flow backward, but time does. You would witness your own corpse reassembling into a living being, only to die again in forward motion. An infinite loop of agony. A process that feels like eternity to you, but lasts a mere nanosecond to the outside observer. Welcome to the forbidden zone of physics. This story begins in 1916, not in a lab, but in the trenches of World War I. German physicist Karl Schwarzschild, feverish and surrounded by artillery fire, wasn't writing a will. He was calculating the end of space-time, and in the darkness of war, he found a mathematical secret. If time is reversed, the black hole has a twin. Mathematically, it was undeniable. If a black hole is a bottomless pit, a white hole is a geyser. If one is the cosmic graveyard, the other is the printer of creation. It refuses entry to everything. Even if you rammed a spacecraft into it at light speed, you would be obliterated by a wall of infinite energy the moment you touched its event horizon. But here lies the paradox. If the math demands their existence, why have we spent a century staring into the dark and finding nothing? We have photographed a black hole, yet its twin remains a ghost. The answer might be that the universe itself has banned them. It comes down to the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy. Chaos must always increase. A shattered vase does not reassemble itself. Smoke does not rush back into the fire. Black holes are law-abiding citizens. They crush stars, turning order into messy oblivion. But a white hole, it is a criminal. It takes chaos and spews out order. It is an act of time reversal that insults the very source code of reality. Most physicists dismiss them as mathematical fiction for this very reason. But never underestimate the madness of the cosmos. Remember that anomaly in 2006? Gamma-ray burst 060614. A standard burst lasts seconds. This one screamed for nearly 2 minutes, and when the astronomers looked for the source, a dead star or a collision, they found absolutely nothing. No debris, no black hole, just a patch of empty space where someone had seemingly torn a hole, dumped the energy of a billion suns, and slammed the door shut. This forced a terrifying reconsideration. Perhaps white holes are not eternal stars, but violent, fleeting flashes. This leads to a theory that dwarfs everything else, the cyclic universe. Take a deep breath. Consider the Big Bang, a single point exploding outward, vomiting matter, energy, and time itself. Sound familiar? It fits the definition of a white hole perfectly. Some physicists propose a radical truth. Our Big Bang was simply the largest white hole event in history. This means we were not born from the void. Before us, there was another universe, a precursor. After eons of existence, that ancient cosmos collapsed, crunching down into a hypermassive black hole. When gravity hit its absolute limit, a quantum bounce occurred. The singularity flipped. The death of the old universe became the white hole that birthed ours. If this is true, look at your hands. You are walking among the dead. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your teeth, the energy in your synapses. Every atom is recycled debris from a universe that died to create ours. We are the leftovers that fell into the black hole of a previous hell, only to be spat out here. Black holes consume the old world. White holes birth the new. They are connected by Einstein-Rosen bridges, wormholes, linking not just space, but life and death. Now you might think, is this cosmic reincarnation? Can I jump into a black hole and pop out of a white hole in a new world? I wouldn't be so optimistic. The cost is something you cannot pay. Gravity dilates time. As you approach the event horizon, your clock slows down relative to the outside world. What feels like a second to you might be 100 billion years to the rest of the cosmos. Imagine you fall into a black hole, traverse the wormhole, and prepare to exit the white hole. You think only a moment has passed, but to maintain causality, you must pay back the time debt. It is a desperate logical loop. To exit a white hole, you might have to wait for the universe to finish its life cycle. Even if the white hole resurrects you, the date of your rebirth is in the unimaginably distant future. The sun has extinguished. The galaxy has been torn apart. Everyone you know, the entire human civilization, has vanished without even leaving a fossil record. You crawl out of the white hole, carrying 21st century memories, only to stand in a dead, cold, empty cosmos. You become the loneliest ghost on the timeline. You scream for someone to share in your resurrection, but the only answer is the eternal silence of the vacuum. And there is a darker question. When you come out, will it still be you? Inside a white hole, entropy reverses. Broken cups reassemble. Spilled water gathers. But what about biology? Crossing a wormhole subjects you to spaghettification. Gravity stretches you into a thin strand of atoms. Can your memories, your emotions, and your soul survive being ripped apart and quantumly reassembled? Or will the thing that crawls out of the white hole merely be a psychotic monster that shares your DNA and wears your face? Soviet physicist Igor Novikov half-jokingly said that white holes can indeed bring the dead back to life, but they don't care if what comes back is actually human. Let's widen the aperture of our paranoia. If white holes are so elusive, is it possible we haven't found one because we are living inside one? Think about it. The universe is expanding, accelerating. Every galaxy is rushing away from us as if being violently expelled by a massive force. This mirrors the behavior of a white hole. If our cosmos is simply the interior of a titanic white hole, then what we call the flow of time is actually the force of expulsion. And the ultimate end, the heat death of the universe, is simply the moment the white hole runs out of fuel. But before that end arrives, consider a stranger possibility. Since black holes and white holes are linked by wormholes, forming a cosmic circulatory system, what about the small things? The ships that vanish in the Bermuda Triangle, the people who disappear without a trace, even the keys you swear you left on the table that vanish into thin air. Did they slip through a microfracture in space-time? Are they sliding down the throat of a microscopic black hole, only to be ejected from a white hole in another universe? Perhaps, right now, in a parallel dimension, your keys just materialized out of thin air, at a stranger's feet. He thinks he's seen a ghost, but really, it is just a gift from you, sent across dimensions. The white hole is physics' most perfect symmetry, but also its cruelest paradox. It offers a mathematically valid hope for immortality and loops, yet locks that hope behind chains of infinite distance and time. It is a flower growing on the edge of a cliff. You know picking it will kill you, but you can't help staring at it, wondering if the secret of God is hidden in its petals. Maybe one day, we will master gravity and ride the wormholes. But until then, do not wait to fall into a white hole to find meaning. Because whether it is a black hole or a white hole, the only truly irreversible thing in the cosmos is the second that just ticked by. For the people who love you, you are their entire universe right now. I will leave you with one final, skin-crawling question. Since a white hole is the exit and a black hole is the entrance, how can you be certain that you are sitting here, watching this, in reality? How do you know you didn't fall into a black hole moments ago? And that this world, this screen, this room, this life, is not just a desperate hallucination woven by your dying brain. A final dream stretched out over 1 billion years to protect you from the truth that you are already gone.